was hot, hot Ford to the picture show at the drive-in.
Hello and welcome to the Johnny Tripod Happy Hour. I'm your host, Johnny Tripod, and you're listening to KTLC, the Lost Church Free Radio. You can tune in to my show every Wednesday at 5 to 6 Pacific Time. New episodes the first Wednesday of the month, and then rebroadcasting that episode every Wednesday. This month, I thought I'd try something with a little bit of a longer timeline. And so what I thought I'd do is try to pick a favorite song from each decade of the past century or so. I wasn't sure, should it be sort of representative of that decade? Maybe the most well-known song, or a popular song from the most well-known group, that kind of thing. I wasn't really quite sure what to do. And so I just started looking through my collections and thought, well, I'm just gonna go with something that's sort of a favorite. Sometimes there'll be, a song that but I'm hoping to throw in some as well, maybe songs that you've never heard of at all, or from bands that you've not heard of. And when I think of that decade, that's often one of the first things that I think about, is that song that comes to mind or reminds me of that decade. Even though it might not show up on anyone else's radar, but that's a thought that I had. So we're gonna go through. I think we're gonna start in the 1940s. So what I had to do, because I wasn't sure how long I was gonna talk, or even how long the songs were, before I started this episode, I actually started at the end. In the last song, and then I worked myself backwards with narration, to get back to where I am right now, to know how much time I had to talk before the first song came in. So that's what I decided to do. So it's a little kind of ass backwards, but that's the way it goes. So we are in fact starting with the 40s. I had picked out a song from the 30s and the 20s and the 1910s, but there wasn't enough time to fit them in. So the 40s it is. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off with a song from 1946 from Louis Jordan, and one of his biggest hits called Choo 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 Boogie. So a lot of people know this one, but I think it's a good one to come storming out of the gate.
Heading for the station with a pack on my back. I'm tired of transportation in the back of a hack. I love to hear the rhythm of the clickety-clack, and hear the lonesome whistle, see the smoke from the stack, and pal around with Democratic fellas named Mac. So take me right back to the track, Jack. Choo-choo, choo-choo, choo-boogie, woo-woo, woo-woo, choo-boogie, choo-choo, choo-choo, choo-boogie. Take me right back to the track, Jack. Your destination, but alas and alack, you need some compensation to get back in the black. You take a morning paper from the top of the stack and read the situations from the front to the back. The only job that's open needs a man with a knack, so put it right back in the rack, Jack. Choo-choo, choo-choo, choo-boogie, woo-woo, woo-woo, choo-boogie, choo-choo, choo-choo, choo-boogie. Take me right back to the track, Jack. gonna settle down by the railroad track, live the life of Riley in the beaten down shack. So when I hear a whistle I can peep through the crack and watch the train a-rolling when it's falling a jack. For I just love the rhythm of the clickety-clack. So take me right back to the track, Jack. Choo-choo, choo-choo, choo-boogie, woo-woo, woo-woo, choo-boogie, choo-choo, choo-choo, choo-boogie. Take me right back to the track, Jack. Take me right back to the track, Jack.
That was the great Louis Jordan with Choo 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 Boogie from 1946. Louis Jordan popularized the style of which came to be known as a jump blues, more of a stripped down version of the big bands to maybe 5, 6, 7 people. Total high energy, lots of piano there, added some guitar later on. I really like Louis Jordan. I've listened to him for a very long time, and I still love it when his stuff comes on, and that's always a favorite. Well, if you're in the 1950s, you should be going straight to the father of rock and roll, Chuck Berry. This is from 1958, and of course, it's Johnny Be Good. Well, I just had to include a Johnny song, right? And it's just so good. Chuck Berry, the father of rock and roll. 1958 recording of Johnny Be Good for Chess Records. Rock and roll guitar was never the same, really, after that. That kind of launched so much of what we think is rock and roll. Found out that he was born in a house on Good Avenue in St. Louis. That's where he got the Good and Johnny Be Good. Also learned that Willie Dixon played bass on this track. Willie Dixon, the blues guitar player that Zeppelin ripped off all over the place. So that was something to find out. Yeah, everyone loves that song, and been heard a zillion times, and also immortalized in Back to the Future with that great scene where he says, your kids are going to love it. Yeah. When you think of rock and roll, new rock and roll coming out of the 50s, you kind of almost have to start with Chuck Berry. And that guy was a hit-making machine. Boy, he had a lot of success in that decade. So I wanted to include that song for the 1950s. It seemed only fitting. You're listening to Johnny Tripod. This is the Johnny Tripod Happy Hour on KTLC, the Lost Church Free Radio. I'm playing a favorite song from each of the decades of the last century or so. And we've arrived at the 1960s. That's a biggie, right? Musically, politically, socially, the 60s. Just think where rock and roll was in 1960. And where it ended up in 1970, that's two radically different places for rock and roll to be. And lots of choices to pick a song from. But I'm going to go to one of my absolute favorite songs from one of my absolute favorite styles. Digging into garage rock. This is from 1965, their debut album, Here Are the Sonics. This is the Sonics with their song Strychnine. Damn, that is some sweet garage band sound. That is the legendary The Sonics from Washington State. First formed in Bremerton, which is well known for their naval shipyards across from Seattle, across the Puget Sound, and then getting their act together in Tacoma, Washington, to record their debut album, Here Are the Sonics, in 1965. And that song, Strychnine, there's this crazy video that goes with it. I don't even know if they did it or someone just did it after the fact, but it is kind of crazy. I'd try to find that if I were you. But I just love Strychnine. I don't know, that sound seems like one of the original garage band sounds, and it was way, way ahead of its time. When I play that for someone, they just cannot believe it's from so far back. Because how could that be from the early 60s? Yeah. So they recorded that album, including that song Strychnine, on 2-track, a 2-track machine with, I read, a one mic for the entire drum kit. And man, it's just relentlessly fantastic. So I just totally had to, I had to include in the Sonics for the 60s because all kinds of stuff was going on. Obviously, my favorite band of all time, the Beatles. Anything else was going on in the 60s. But talk about way ahead of their time and influencing countless other bands. How many bands were formed by, kids, teenage kids, to just start rocking around in their parents' garage? You could trace that back to the Sonics, really. So anyway, definitely had to include them, and I just totally love Strychnine. I also have to mention that I saw the Sonics as they sort of regrouped a few years ago, kind of had a resurgence. They put out a new album, and they started touring, and caught them at the Fillmore here in San Francisco. This was maybe 6-7 years ago. And most of these guys are in their 60s and 70s. And they blew the roof off of the Fillmore. From the first note, the crowd was just crushed. Oh, it was so good. They were, you get so excited to see a band like that. What are they going to be like? Oh, old guys, can they still bring it? And it was just so worthwhile. It was such a great show. And that's one of the ones where you just walk out and you're just pumped for days, right? You're telling everyone about it. And it's like your faith in rock and roll is restored. It was one of those kind of shows. It was off the charts. So, man, when you have that happen to you, yeah, you got to cherish that. Well, we're just marching ahead, and here we are in the 1970s. And I know people have lots of favorite bands from the 70s. But really, is there any other choice except for the B-52s? From their self-titled debut album in 1979, this is Planet Claire.
She came from planet Claire.
I mean, how great were the B-52s? That band, utterly original. Seems like they came out of nowhere, but of course everyone has their influences, right? Weird kitschiness, beehives, incredibly danceable, super fun, whip smart. I just become a bigger and bigger fan of the B-52s as I listen to them more and more. It's pretty much a timeless band. If you put on, so this was the debut album, just called the B-52s. If you put it on, the songs, they take you back to whenever you heard it, or it's true, but it's not a dated sound at all. It will be played forever, probably, just because it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things, so utterly original, but yet so fantastic. It will always be cool music for centuries, I think, actually. That's what, while they're still playing music, at least while they're playing music from the past, I bet they'll still be playing the B-52s, while many other bands will probably faded into obscurity. But Planet Claire is that's a good one. People love Rock Lobster. It's even more dancey, but this one is just so weird and it's hilarious. I guess Kate Pearson didn't really like the way her vocals were recorded on this, but what are you going to do? It's what we got. But there's a lot of bands to pick from the 70s, and the Ramones are pretty much right there. But I just wanted to, as often as I can, give accolades to the B-52s, because they're just phenomenal. And the second greatest band to come out of Athens, Georgia, after, of course, Pylon, with REM being a distant third. I think we can all agree on that. The 1980s, well, that was probably the decade that influenced me most for music, because it was that typical thing where I came from suburban living, up through high school, classic rock bands on KZAP in Sacramento. Just the traditional thing that no one who knows anything about music just kind of listens to and enjoys. And then you go away to college, and all of a sudden you get a lot more exposed to a lot different kinds of music. And it happened to coincide really with kind of the rise of that college radio thing, that started to really support a lot more what became known as indie rock, right? So you got a lot of REM, you got blah, blah, blah. So that was great. Got a whole bunch of new sounds in my head, Husker Du, Replacements, that whole kit and caboodle. But what I'm going to play is a song from the very end of the 80s, a song I really, really have always liked. And so this is from Throwing Muse's 1989 album, Hunk Papa. This is the song B.
Love
God, I just love the power of that song. That's always been one of my favorite Throwing Muses songs, and that is B from their album Hunk Papa from 1989. Throwing Muses. I did post college. I did a trip one of those backpacking trips through Europe. So this was '87, the last half of '87. And I ran into some guy from the East Coast, and he kept talking about this band called Throwing Muses, and I had not heard of them going to school out on the West Coast. But he was just saying how great they were, and I think he played us some songs from their album House Tornado, I think, which is the one before Hunk Papa, and it sounded interesting, very. Some of it's kind of hard to listen to. That band can be a little challenging, especially earlier on in their career. But we were intrigued and kind of started reading more and more about them. And then they dropped Hunk Papa. I think I was working at Tower Records in San Francisco by then. And so they dropped this one, which was a bit more polished, a little more straight ahead pop rock oriented. And just totally dug it. Totally loved the song. And I thought I was the cool one because I knew more about them than anyone else seemed to in the store, or at least some of the people. I'm sure some of them knew about Throwing Muses. Look at me, I'm putting on airs. I worked at a record store. And so we went to see them at the legendary and incredibly missed club here in San Francisco called the I-Beam, my favorite San Francisco venue of all time. And they were just phenomenal. They were getting more of a buzz, getting more popular, and people that were there to see them were intrigued, but not quite sure what to expect. And just the sheer power and emotional salvos that Throwing Muses would just crush the audience with. It was a really, really good show. Kirsten Hirsch and Tanya Donnelly, the stepsisters who started the band, just such a great duo to kind of lead that charge. And everyone was just a huge fan, probably about the first song in. So I dug it. You can see I'm kind of gushing a little bit. Kind of one of those special bands. Like I said, I just love the power of B. Not quite sure what it's about. Definitely some hot emotion, physical emotions going on in Fields. In my head, I think it's kind of a power dynamic. It might even be, a landowner's son, taking advantage of someone working in the fields. Maybe it's a slave song. Real rough. But I just love the visuals I get from Kirsten Hirsch's lyrics, and just really propels. Just totally dig that song. The 1990s. Oh, that's a lot of people's favorite decade. Those youngins with their grunging and their other styles of music. I'm going to give you something that you probably have not heard before. But I totally dig them. So this is from a Seattle band called Sycophant, from their first album entitled Feel, from 1995 or 96-ish. This song is Immortality.
There's a rose bush in the meadow where my gravestone used to stand. It is one rose every season for every true land. It's been so nice to see you with those scissors in your hand, with that madness in your ear and that face in your man. I only want you to be happy, and for you I nearly died. Well, I hate to disappoint you, but I've licked my wounds and I'm still alive. I am alive, I am alive, I am alive, la 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 la, hey, la 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 la, I am alive. I am alive, I am alive, I am alive, la 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 la, hey, la 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 la, I am alive. We drank deeply of the Ganges, and I won't survive. I swam across the Nile, and I held you as you died. And on the river Jordan, to the Sea of Galilee, I laughed into the face of rage while you were on your knees. Well, someday they're gonna get me, and they'll turn me upside down. They'll hang my body from their nightmares, and they'll drop it to the ground. And I'll tell them what they want to hear, just to hear their heart inside. And I'll go along my merry way. Won't you am I still alive? I am alive, I am alive, I am alive, la 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 la, hey, la 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 la, I am alive. I am alive, I am alive, I am alive, la 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 la, hey, la 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 la, I am alive. I will set the sea on fire, I will turn the sun to stone. I'll put the moon inside my pocket, I will rearrange my bones. And if I was a catfish swimming in a wishing well, well, I would lure you disbelievers to your private little hell. Well, someday you're gonna find me lying on your bathroom floor. You'll pierce my body with your scissors, then you'll throw me out your door. And if you are not illegal, I should not be sanctified. Quite the contrary, my darling. But if love were a vice, I'd be crucified. I am alive, I am alive, I am alive, la 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 la, hey, la 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 la, I am alive. I am alive, I am alive, I am alive, la 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 la, hey, la 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 la, I am alive. I am alive, I am alive, I am alive, la 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 la, hey, la 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 la, I am alive. I am alive, I am alive, I am alive, la 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 la, hey, la 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 la, I am alive, I am alive, I am alive, I am alive.
Oh man, do I love me some Sycophant. Yeah, Seattle band. My friend Dawn was working at some art store in downtown Seattle, and she, what was the deal? The coffee guy? I don't think he worked there. He delivered the coffee. Oh, wait, I think she went across the way to a coffee shop to get coffee. And this guy was working there. Of course, this, tall, good-looking guy named Paul Muma, I think. Anyway, he one day he said, "Oh, I'm in this band," and he passed her a cassette. So this is Sycophant's first album, 95, 96, called Feel. And she invited me over to her place, I'm sure pretty soon after that, and said, "You have to listen to this." And man, I had never heard a band like them before, and I have not heard one like them since. It was so original, and we just loved it. We just thought it was the greatest thing, and she kept talking to him about it. "Oh, where are you playing? Where are you playing?" And so we went to see them at what was the name of that place? It's that place under what used to be a freeway in Seattle. It's been closed down now for, I don't know, 20 years. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, we walked in there, and I can't remember. Maybe they had started, or they were just about to. And then they just unleashed a trio on us. Paul on stand-up bass, that Gavin guy on acoustic guitar with a pretty amazing clear as a bell vocals, and a really good drummer, and they just totally backed it up. So we just fell in love with that band, and totally dig it. You can't even really find this album. It's not even on Spotify or anything. But totally dug it. So that's the opening track, called Immortality, and it's, as you can tell, I'm just a huge fan. An original. So we kind of feel like we have that band. We can pull that out of our pocket and say, "Hey, here's something you've probably never heard." Totally awesome. So there you go. That's our 1990s song. From the last decade of the 20th century. Oh boy, we've reached the 21st century. Need a song from the 2000s. What will it be? I'm going to go to 2003. This is a Seattle band, the first of two Seattle bands in a row. Seattle band The Long Winters, from their 2003 released When I Pretend to Fall. This is Shapes.
Doesn't favor girls.
is just such a damn catchy song. That was the Long Winters from their album I Pretend to Fall, When I Pretend to Fall from 2003. The song is Shapes. Yeah, it's just such a perfect recording. Clever wordage, John Roderick, lead singer. I'm sure he probably penned that song, guitar player. Got to see Long Winters play once at the Great American Music Hall, probably in 2000. Well, it was this tour, so it was either 2002, I guess it would be 2003. Yeah, that was a good show. That was a fine show, and I just love that song, Shapes. That whole album is excellent, but that particular one, it's just such a perfect pop song. I totally dig it, and I guess throw in shapes is a phrase. I think it might be a British phrase for when bands are on stage. And like a guitar player will play a solo and they kind of screw up their face in some huge emotional way and scrunch up their nose, whatever. Anyway, I hear that's called throwing shapes. So unless that's not true and I'm wrong, but that's what I've told people. So there. All right, we've reached the 2010s. Thinking I'm gonna reach out for one of my favorite bands of late. This is Taco Cat from Seattle, and we're going to play the opening track to their 2016 album Lost Time. This is Dana Catherine Scully. That was Dana Catherine Scully from the band Taco Cat. and their album Lost Time from 2016. Obviously about the X-Files. Great, really fun video. I'd look that up if I were you, Dana Catherine Scully. Love Taco Cat, one of my favorite bands. Are from Seattle. Very, very much a feminist band, very political. They're getting more and more political as they go on. Super fun. Got to see them at the Chapel, I don't know, 3-4 years ago. Wasn't quite sure what to expect because I'd seen some, live videos of them and they seemed, okay, but they were excellent. Emily Noakes, who's the singer, just did such a great job. So really fun, but really dancey and rocky. Yeah, totally love Taco Cat. And that particular song is definitely one of my favorites. Well, we've reached the end of the show. You've been listening to the Johnny Tripod Happy Hour on KTLC, the Lost Church Free Radio. We've been listening to a favorite song of mine from each of the past decades of the last century or so. We're going to go out with a fave song from this fairly young decade, the 2020s, with a song from a band that is generating a huge amount of buzz while only releasing 4 songs so far. They have an album coming out in April. They're from the Isle of Wight in the UK. This is Wet Leg with their song Chaise Long.
Chaise long all day long on the chaise long.